So it's very important in the practical sessions to not just learn about the asanas. It's very important how to deliver the class. It's not simply about practicing. You are not practicing alone in the class. It's very important that you know how to deliver classes to different groups of people. If you have people of age group, let's suppose very young people, teenagers, then your approach should be different for them. And if you have children below 10, 12 years old, then that approach should be different. And then if you have adults, that should be different. And then if you have older citizens in your class, then that should be different. And what should be done if there is a mixture of group of people of different age groups? And then if you have adults, but they are already going through different chronic diseases, then what should be the approaches? So the demonstration skills for different age groups, different populations are different. So you ought to learn these skills. So these are the demonstration skills you should ask for in your practical sessions. Okay, only taking these classes, maybe not, maybe it's good. Definitely once you learn it, you become fluent in the practices. That comes very naturally how to treat people. But there are, this is way beyond just delivering. Classes are way beyond delivering. It's about connection, it's about understanding your participants, it's about you know how to deal with them. Because many a times what happens, you come prepared for the class, you prepare yourself that today this components of these things I will be taking, and I'll be delivering all these things to my subjects today. But what happens once you enter the class, you see that this people is already traumatized by some other events in the day. He or she is not at all in the state of coming back to this you know complete state of peace and taking the class. At that situation you cannot give every kind of practices, because that participant won't be accepting those things. So immediately you need to modify your list of practices there and then, without even bringing out, without even bringing an expression of those things in your face that you are under some, you know, uh, that's a skeptical situation. So how to handle these things? So these also comes under this demonstration and class management skills. So you need to learn those as well, and that is also part of pedagogy as well, educational pedagogy. So that should also be implemented in these yoga sessions as well. And then have you learned Surya Namaskar yet? Traditional 12 steps Surya Namaskar. So do you remember the steps along with the names? Can you please list out the practices of Surya Namaskar? Hastatanasan, Padasdasan, Asvasanchalanasana, Shtang Namaskar. Yes, that's a Stang Namaskar. 8 parts of your body should be touching the ground. Yes, yes, Bhujangasana. Coming back to Parvatasana. Okay, plank position. You practice plank position instead of mountain pose. Okay, alright. Dandasana. You need to. So take this as a homework that next class, whenever we meet, maybe tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow only, whenever we meet, I will be taking this list of names from you along with the breathing pattern of Surya Namaskar. Two things to be done: breathing pattern, like when we inhale and when we exhale, because it's very important to inhale and exhale correctly during any kind of asanas, and especially during Surya Namaskar. Alright, and then meanings of the Surya Namaskar. Yeah. Correct. So whenever your body is near your other parts, it's always exhalation. Like if you're bringing it near, it's always mostly exhalations. Except for there are some exceptional cases. Sometimes there are some exceptional cases where we don't do that. But otherwise, mostly it's always inhalation when we move our hands away. That's known as abduction and adduction in scientific language. Okay, abduction is all about moving away your body parts from the center of the body, that is abduction, and adduction is always bringing your body parts near the center of the body, that is adduction. Okay, there are certain terminologies. Can you go through? I would like to request, it's not in your syllabus, it's not in your practical sessions as well. You can do one thing, go and learn from some good reliable sources about abduction, adduction, rotation, circumduction, inversions, eversions, extensions, and flexions. Types of flexions, types of extensions, if any exists. Okay, so this two gonna be your homework for the next session whenever we meet. Yes. Should I write it down, or is it's okay if I should write it down here? I can put it down here. Okay. The first one is abduction, ABDUC. Then comes adduction, ADDDUC. Okay. And then comes rotation. Then comes circumduction. Circumduction, yes. Then comes flexion, extensions, extension, extension, extension. Then come inversions and eversions, EVER, inversion and eversion. And then try to learn about different meanings of these flexions, plantar flexions. There are dorsiflexions. Okay, when we apply different kinds of these flexions in different asanas, that gonna be help you in long run. Okay, knowing the scientific nature of the body during different practices. Okay, so that's what is a homework. Listing out the memorizing the steps of Surya Namaskar with the pattern, and knowing about this different biomechanics of yoga practices. Alright, this is a basic of biomechanics. So today we will start with guiding principles to be followed by the yoga practitioners for our theory class. So this is from unit 1 1.3 guiding principles. So it says about what should be followed by a practitioner to be a good practitioner, and then moving towards being a good teacher. But before being a good teacher, you need to be a good student. One, from my experience, I say that you never learn when you don't experience yourself. The best of your deliveries come from what you experience. Okay, on your mat itself, if you don't experience what cobra feels like, you never know what actually bhujangasana is. When you don't know how it feels like to be in Machendrasan, you cannot ever deliver the correct Machendrasan position to your students. It's very important that you know the correct alignments, the correct stretching needs to be done. So similarly, to be a very good student, to practice correctly, you also need to follow some guidelines. So what are the guidelines for a practitioner? Even some kind of guidelines are also given for the sadhakas. Sadhakas means practitioners, and when we say sadhakas in seminal texts, mostly they mean sadhana for reaching that goal of enlightenment. But when we speak about modern day-to-day life, the sadhana is all about being a good practitioner, being able to, are you fine? Should I continue or should I stop for a while until you shift? Yeah. So what I was saying, so there are some guiding principles even given in the seminal text like Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Gheran Samhita about what practitioners should do to reach his or her goal. But before starting those guidelines, I would like to brief out the guidelines that we would be applying in our day-to-day life. Like always practicing in a very clean place, okay, because we inhale and exhale. If we are inhaling something which should not be inhaled, that would not be fruitful, what we expecting. Suppose you are practicing pranayama among a group of people who are smoking, would that be actually applicable for your pranayama practice? No, that's not correct, because you are rather inhaling good things, you are inhaling all those pollutive airs, right? So it's not recommended. So for any kind of yoga practice you need a proper environment. What kind of environment you need to follow? So that should be peaceful. It should have at least a minimal space so that you can move your hands in and out and up and down. Okay? If you are getting restricted because there is less space in your room, then you won't be able to freely move your hands and legs so that you uh, can better do the practice. So you need at least a little space for yourself. And then the clean environment, obviously. You need to maintain that kind of peace in that room, the positivity in that room. Then coming to the cultures, even from cultural backgrounds as well, take removing the shoes off, keeping the shoes off outside that room is also recommendable, because that will help you maintain those kind of cleanliness in the room. Okay. Third, your mat should be personalized. Most of the times some people do share their mats, but it's not actually recommendable. According, at least according to me, it's not recommendable because that's a personal thing. It's just like a towel that we use, right? So mats should be personalized. Then you should always wear a very comfortable attire. Not necessarily that you need to wear a gym fit, not necessarily you need to wear a very flexible fit, but all you need is a comfortable wear, so that in that fit you are comfortable, you are able to move your legs comfortably, you're able to practice for long standing hours as well. It should not be like your clothes are disturbing you, your fit is not allowing you to practice, it's distracting you. That would not be adding to your practice. Again, then wearing too much fancy also diverts your mind, according to me. Because if we are too much focused on, okay, I'm looking very beautiful in this fit, that will also divert you. So that fit should be very simple. That fit should not become a hurdle in your practice. Okay, your fit should be good. So what we learned about the environment, about the space, about the cleanliness, about your fit, right? And then building your mindset before coming into the room. You should have a proper schedule for that. The practice hours, right? Keeping that fixed practice hours always help you to remain disciplined. So if you have fixed your time that I will be practicing every morning at this particular hour, this will schedule your sleep, this will schedule your other activities, and always you will have that much space in your schedule in which you will be practicing. Otherwise, consistency becomes deteriorated. You will distort your schedule most of the times if you don't fix your practice hours. It's also very good that if you have that particular time slot, maybe that will always remind you that, okay, I have to practice, let me cut out all these activities in this hour, and not just like this class. We have a pre-scheduled, you know, um, timetable for the sessions, and then we always keep ourselves free on those days most of the time, right? So discipline is it helps to keep the discipline. So these are some of the guidelines that a practitioner needs to um, follow. Now, if we correlate the guidelines that should be followed by practitioners with the seminal text, like one mentioned in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it also says for the earlier times, okay, it's based on earlier times. They are mostly talking about sadhana to reach those kind of enlightenment, samadhi. We are not basically talking about samadhi, whatever I explained, but there are some points like keeping your environment clean, not practicing in a space where it's harmful for you. Like if you are practicing in a jungle, that might be harmful. There may be a snake, there may be some kind of other predatory animals which may come and prey you. So these are from the seminal texts which are mentioned. You should not be practicing near a fireplace. So these are some of the things also mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and some of them are still applicable to us and some of them are not. Okay, and then in Hatha Yoga Pradipika it also says that keep away from too much traveling, keep away from negative people, keep away from those people who talks a lot. Why talks a lot? Because who talks a lot, and if you keep you know too much friendship with those kind of people, you will be losing most of the time talking with those people. So keeping away from talkative people also helps to preserve your time. However, this is not applicable with everything and it is applicable, but we don't like to follow it. That's a different thing, right? So this, if we correlate these guidelines with the previous text I am talking about, because they are talking about using the time to the maximum level so that they can reach their goals at the earliest possible, because reaching those samadhi state takes years and years. They practice soon after the age of 25, and or maybe even at a younger age. They practice and they sit in sadhana for years together, and their goal is only to reach those enlightenment states. And to reach that, they have to follow strictly these rules strictly. So for them, these are strictly mandatory, that they don't need to travel, that they don't need to talk with other people too much, they don't make friendship with too much talkative and negative people. They keep away from societal events, because as much as you go to societal events, you will be talking, you will be revealing all the secrets of your sadhana. Even if you are gaining something out of the sadhana, you are not ought to share your secrets with other people. Once you share, you are losing those capacities you have earned from your sadhana. Then maintaining a cleanly environment, not practicing in a very harmful place where you may be injured, not practicing near a fireplace. So these were mentioned in the seminal text, and what I said is for day to day settings, what you need to mostly look after. But I have mentioned all of this so that at any cost, if you get any kind of questions from somewhere else out of syllabus, or even then you can correlate. So I just went through those things. So these were the guiding principles. With this we can complete 1.3. Then we have principles of yoga, the Triguna and the Antakarna Chatustaya. So Triguna, these are the personalities we have in us. Okay, Trigunas. Have you heard of this concept before of Triguna? So what do you understand by this Sattva, Rajas and Tamas? Yes. So yes, these are the three qualities of mind. So Triguna and three Shariras are actually interconnected. The tree Sharira mostly defines the external, the body, the physical personality of a people more. Although Triguna also has some physical dimensions of it, but Triguna mostly represents your mental set, your mental setup, your mind, your consciousness, everything, your cognition, because everything we do is cognition. You are thinking too much, it's cognition. Some parts of your brain are engaged in thinking. You're memorizing something, it's your cognition. Now you are thinking positively, you are thinking negatively, and then some confusions come. There is cognition and some parts of your personality that puts this negativity and positivity in that. So this three guna are the three qualities of your, especially your mind, your cognition. Mostly these two. There are some assets of this personalities. There is like, since you have that kind of a particular mind, your body will also act accordingly. Right? You are tamasic, there will be some manifestation of those cognitive assets on your personality as well, on your physical outward personalities. But mostly these personalities talk about your mind, your cognition, okay, your mental activities rather than your physical activities. So it this this triguna encompasses energy, the matter, and the consciousness. Okay, like the three gunas are rajasic, tamasic, and sattvic. So all these three gunas are actually required in a person. It's not like you should not have tamas. It's not like you should not have your rajasic guna, and it's not like you should not have sattva. Sattva is definitely the best personality, we say, right? So these three are required in a blend. Okay, because if you are not rajasic, you won't be learning today with me. You have a goal. Why you have a goal? Because you have certain aspects of rajasic quality in you, right? But when that rajasic guna, how do we say that that person is rajasic dominant? Because everyone is doing something, everyone is goal oriented. Now let's take the personality of a politician. They are too much rajasic. They are too much rajasic. They have to be rajasic guna. Otherwise, they won't be standing there, because they are doing everything and anything to reach their goals. Now that is said as being a rajasic guna. They, I should not say this so explicitly, but for them, they split whatever they need at that moment of time and think later, okay, how to reach that. But they will do anything to reach that goal. Okay, and then that also has a positive aspect, that if you have that, you are very much promising to your work, because you have that kind of ego in you to complete that activity. You need that kind of ego. Now ego doesn't signify, or ego does not indicate a negative thing. No, ego is not negative. Whenever we listen this word ego, we often take our mind towards that negativity. No, it's not that. Ego is that I-ness. If I am saying now that I am teaching you, this is ego. Ego prevails. That's why I am saying that I am your teacher. This is ego. When you say I have two kids, that is ego. That is ego. That I, without knowing, we are saying that I am this. Without knowing who I am actually, I don't know where I have come from, I don't know my background, I don't know my actual ancestors, I don't know for when did I take birth in actual. How old is my soul? I have no answers to these questions. Still, I boast about myself. I am a yoga teacher. I am, I'm very good at my job. I'm, doing my PhD in this. So, this I think I always add in the sentence while boasting about, all while introducing myself, is all about ego. Now, In Rajasic people, this I quantity is too much because they keep themselves here, and that's important because if they don't keep themselves here, they won't be able to compete with the rest of the world. They are very competitive in nature, and you know because uh, to follow up with what you are thinking is very important, that you have those kind of things that comes unsaid. In Rajasic people, that comes unsaid. They are good, they are too much active because activity is very important. Without being active, they won't be able to push their body, right? Now, that person also have tamas. It's not like that person don't have tamas. If that person don't have tamas, he won't be able to sleep. Night, every one of us are tamasic. We are not rajasic. Even if I am rajasic or you are rajasic, at night you have to be tamasic. So that's a blend. You need to have all of those. You need to have sattva to understand. So, yeah, sattvic qualities are enhanced by meditation. Sattvic qualities are enhanced by yoga practices because that raises your self awareness. Before saying, let's suppose personality development, how it takes place, you are saying, shut up, I don't care. This is the attitude, let's suppose. Or someone, you are very frustrated now, and someone just hit you, and you just, you know, you just said whatever you wanted to. Now, what yoga does, yoga increases your self awareness. Yoga helps you introspect. Yoga makes you more mindful of everything. So these qualities of yoga actually increases that introspection quality in you, and slowly with time you understand that this was not required actually, and then personality development starts. These things, how you get, how you enhance a person, patience level through yoga. It's about that awareness in you. It's about understanding more deeply about things. It's because of the introspective quality that you grow in yourself from yoga. Okay, so mindfulness, self awareness, introspection are three things in yoga which are behind any kind of benefits that you gain from yoga. So, this helps to increase the sattvic quality in you. Sattva is all about positivity. Sattva is all about the peace. You know, Sattva is all about simplicity. Often you see after, like, if you go to a field where people are too much after fame, they are not very simple. They're not very simple. They cannot be simple because they are in that environment. So, the kind of personality you have, you choose the environment accordingly. Even I am stylish, but somewhere I lie in simple. I have the feelings for simple things. I love simplicity. I do have a very fancy background as well, but if you are sattva, or if you are growing that sattva qualities in you, you will simply move yourself away from the fancy. That will happen to you even without your consciousness. You will see the changes when it's evident. Suppose you love bright colors. It's good to love bright colors. I'm not saying that it's not good. Every colors are good. But if you love black, if you are too much in love with maroons, if you are too much in love with indigo blue, that means you have high rajasic qualities. Now, after some time, if you start to love white, if you start to love this, very subtle colors, that also shows the shift of your internal personalities from rajasic, tamasic to sattva. For example, when I, obviously age also has a lot to do with color choice, right? beginning in very younger and tender ages, we often like bright colors. That's a that also signifies your colorful mind, the curiosity that you have in your mind, you know. But also in yoga, I have seen that when I began yoga, I was too much into black. White was something I avoided, something I don't like, and if I wear white, I see that I look very, you know, bad. That was my perception. It's all about perception. I did not like to choose white. I did not like to choose. I never chose uh, the burgundies, the lighter burgundies. I would never choose to wear a white. I never choose a fit which is of a subtle color. I always used to go for blacks and deep maroons and browns and reds and all these colors. But after like after about a year, these are very subtle changes that comes from yoga, that doesn't happen in 1 month of yoga. It's all about accepting this thing. It's not just about learning too many asanas and also giving it to others. No, it's about acceptance. It's about how you feel. It's about your experiences. It's about even deeper changes in your cortex or in your body. Okay, so when those changes occur, simply changes happen. And even with me, it happened that now every time I like to buy something, my heart goes for whites. My heart goes for lighter colors, lighter shades. So these are the changes. Now that also signifies that somewhere the personality has also changed. Now when we speak about this personality, nothing is wrong, nothing is, good. Not like Rajasic is good and Sattvic is not good. It's not like Tamasic is bad and the rest is good. No, you need a blend of it. You need Tamasic to sleep. You need Tamasic to rest. It's important. Okay. You need Rajasic so that you can live peacefully in this world, because this is a material world. You need this Rajasic quality to live in this society. Sattvic is mostly present, and Sattvic you need to enhance more and more. You need to be a Sattvic dominant only when, or it gets, it enhances in you if you are taking the path of that eternal journey, like the monks. Because Sattvic quality is not easy. It's more, it's not just about this being simple. No, it's beyond that. It's beyond that. You cannot be simple unless you have a very, you know, you have a mind and you have a personality where you don't need anything. You're sacrificing. That sacrificing quality doesn't come easily. When you don't have that tendency of earning more, when you don't think about earning more, when you don't think about competing, when you don't think about jealousy, when you don't think about, this growing in this rapid world, rather just thinking about enlightenment, thinking about God, only then that's the point when you actually become sattvic. Other than that, it's difficult. Okay. In short, for us, we need a blend of it. We need to stay simple. We need to get rid of the negative qualities, the negativity in the mind, the negativity in our talks, because what we think, what we speak also manifests. If you have too much of problem regarding your cognition, regarding if you don't have a good attention span, if you don't have a good set of, you know, uh, mind where you can concentrate, that also means that somewhere you are actually expanding your expenditure of cognition is going somewhere else. You are thinking too much about something which is not necessary, right? You are expanding your very good amount of energy in something you don't need to. That's what we need to know. But in short, we need Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic. But when you are asked as a question, what are the qualities of Rajasic? It's activity, it's about competitiveness, it's about, you know, achievements, right? Even I'm Rajasic. That's why I'm here. I'm earning more. I'm getting this trigger to earn more and more. I'm getting this trigger that I need to deliver the classes, right? These things also come from Rajasic quality. But make sure that it doesn't go beyond its requirement. Tamasic is required. If I don't get tamasic at night, I won't get a sleep. Sattvic is also required. Now then the question comes, in Sattvic, totally Sattvic people, they don't need tamasic to sleep because they are already in a state which is so balanced. They get everything required from only one quality, Sattvic is. Okay, this is good in them. Because the sadhakas which are very who are very experienced and real sadhakas, they don't sleep much. They sleep very less. Even then they are, at a very healthy set of mind because they are not expanding their energies anywhere. They're not in this run of world of competition. They don't want the iPhone. They don't need to win any competition against someone. Their only goal is to reach that goal of enlightenment. All right. Now, this Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic qualities are also manifested in your bodily activities. Right? So then comes uh, the three Sharira, as the three Sharir. Then this Sthula Sarir, Sukshma Sarir, and Karan Sharir. Right? The causal body. The causal body. So, Sthula Sharir is the gross body. You're there. Yeah. Your screen has disappeared. And yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Before going on to three Sharira, let's also know about this three doshas, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Heard about it, right? I have also told earlier about three doshas. According to the Ayurvedic text, there are, yes, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These correlates with these three gunas only. The Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These are the bodily qualities, the external personality, the physical personalities. So this three gunas are for the mind. The three doshas. Three doshas are the humors of your body. Like, how should I explain? Is these are also personalities, you can say. Vata is all about the air in the body. No, it's not intellectual. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha are the physical movements of the body. Like the doshas. These are the doshas we need in the body. All these three are required. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. It says that in our body, all these three prevails in the body. Vata remains below your navel region. Vata. The place for the vata in the body is below your navel, below your legs, the west region. Okay, lower west. Pitta prevails in this region. Okay, not even this from your diaphragm, till your navel. Then comes kapha. Kapha remains above your diaphragm, this region. This region. Okay. So why are they important? Vata is among these three doshas. Vata is the only one which can move. Vata means air, right? Vat means air. So, Pitta means the fire, the bile in other language, right? So, among these three, only Vata has the capacity to roam about. So, every disease that we get is because of the malfunctioning in these doshas, it is said. Any malfunctioning, too much of any dosha in the body causes that problem related to those doshas. Now, like Vat is air. If you have too much Vata, then that will cause what? That will cause your joint pain. That will cause any kind of pain in the body. That's why at the old age, which dosha is too much in the body? Aggravated in the body. Vata is aggravated in the body at old age. That's why old people suffers from too much body pain. Now they also have this Vata Prakriti, Pitta Prakriti and Kapha Prakriti. They have body personalities as well. Vata dominant people are lean and thin. Mostly. Not required that have to be too much lean and thin, but mostly they are Vata dominant are lean and thin. When we say lean and thin, thin means their bones are small, like mine. I have a very small. After ages, maybe eating too much fatty foods, I may gain weight. Even then, my bone size won't change. Right? I will increase kapha at that time. Kapha is when I say kapha, it's the fats. We can say cuff. In general, also the cuff wala cuff. It's the same thing. Mucus, cuff, fats. Okay. So what we have learned that tamasic is lethargic. When you see too much fat people, they are also lethargic. Right? So this personal body aspect with this personality of mind, they coexist as well. It may be interrelated as well, intercorrelated as well. Vata prakriti of the body are very active. Rajasic is very active. Vata is also very active. You ask a Vata people, oh, I forgot the purse. Should I go and bring? You have to walk, let's suppose, 2 kilometers. Vata personality won't ever think about walking. They will straight away go and bring their purse or whatever. You generally observe the lean and thin people, they will be flying from here and there. That's the quality of air. They will be flying. They don't have any issues working. Okay. So Rajasic also has the same aspect. They don't think of working. They have the personality of working hard and smart. Let's suppose a person is Vata and Rajasic. Together makes a lead person that can work too much. Now this too much needs to be again settled down by the rest of the personalities. Balanced, right? Now someone is Vata but has a tamasic mind. Lethargy comes from this side, activity comes from that's also another good match as well. Your body will push, your mind will slow down, but I don't know what kind of a person that would become. But there are a list of there are questionnaires actually through which you can check your personality. Vat, Pitta or Kapha. Yeah. So Kapha people, as I have said, they have a little bigger muscle size, bone size, so they look more masculine in nature. Yeah. Then we have Pitta Prakriti. Pitta Prakriti has a very good, digestive fire. Their digestive fire is very high. Okay. So now, whenever we get some disease like coughing, sneezing, cold, why we get all these things according to Ayurveda? In all this personality, Vat, Pitta and Kapha, Vat is the only thing that can move. So whenever Vata moves and enter the other domain, it's too much, it enters other domain, it disrupts the environment of that domain and it causes the disease. So when Vata enters Kapha, Vata aggravates, it disturbs Kapha and you get all the problems related to your respiration, pulmonary function, ENT, eyes, nose, throat, your lung problem, heart issues, asthmatic problem, pulmonary function related problem, all these things is because of vata entering kapha. Alright, then vata entering your pitta domain. Pitta cannot come to vata. Vata entering your pitta domain, you are getting what? Acidity, gastric issues, stomach ulcers, any kind of problem of this sort, which relates to your gastrointestinal problems, abdominal problems, navel related problems. Alright, and then vata itself getting aggravated causes any kind of muscle pain, joint pain. Alright, this kind of things. I have explained so much so that you can understand, you can imagine how things are happening. Okay, so the three doshas are the personality aspects of the body, the physical, mostly physiological and physical. These three gunas are mostly correlated with your mental aspects. Okay, of course, when we say sattvic, we imagine a very simple person, looks wise as well. His choices also dominates his personality. Physical appearance, if a person is very simple, it will come in his physical appearance. If a person is very highly rajasic, like of the film stars, it will again show off in his physical aspect, right? So that's another aspect. But mostly these trigunas are actually correlated with your mental aspects. The three doshas are correlated with your physical or the physiological aspect. Correct? Clear? I will share something if possible. I have something with me. I will share it with you. You can go through. You can learn. Alright, and then let me know whatever doubts you have. Then comes the third thing that we learn is fourth thing for today, Trisharira. The three bodies. What are these three bodies? The Sthula Sharir, the Sukshma Sharir, and the Karan Sharir. Okay. The Sthula Sharir is the cross body, the physical body that we have seen, that we can see. I know Priya as this Priya. You know Darshana as this. She looks lean and thin. She is of this shape. She has this kind of eye. She has this length of hair. The physical identity that I have and often seen by others. This much on my nose, ears, eyes, and my physical aspects. Alright? So, this body we need to leave behind when we die. It doesn't go with us. Right? We have to leave it back. The gross body. Once you are dead, there is no existence of Priya with this gross body. No meaning. So that's why it's often said by the Gyanis, the one with the greatest knowledge, that why cry for a body? That's why after that it's called as body. Take the body for postmortem. It's not said as with the name. It's not named. You are Priya until you are here in this body. Your soul is here in this body. You are no more Priya after you leave this body. This Priya is for this body only, not for your soul. I am Darshana for only this body. Right? So this body has to be left behind once we die. That's why it's always said that rather than, making over your physical appearance, giving a makeover to your physical appearance, mostly the knowledgeable persons say that, the Gyanis say that, why go to parlors and, modify your physical appearance when you're not taking it with you? Rather work on your Sukshma Sharira, which is the subtle Sharir you have, the soul in you. Wrong if we say soul. The Atman in you, the Sukshma, the most subtle, which you cannot see, which no one can see. I cannot see the real Priya in you. Right? It can be connected through connections, the internal connections, the vibrations. But that's very difficult because we cannot go so deep. Our consciousness doesn't allow us because we are all into materialistic belongings. To understand this subtle nature of the body, we need to be very subtle. Our minds need to be subtle. If we are hovering around this material needs and this world, we would never understand the Sukshma Sharira. Right? And then comes the Karan Sharir, the causal body. Okay, the causal body is created by one's desire. Okay, now the Sukshma Sharir and the Karan Sharir, it goes with the person after death. Both. Okay, the most subtle is Shukshma, then Kaushal body, and then the Sthula Sharir. Alright, okay. So, any questions until now? No, even aura is, we can say the energy, yes. Aura is the energy, right? Yeah, energy body. It's not a standard term. It's not a standard term, but for explanation, for understanding, it's fine. For understanding, it's fine. It's the most subtle thing we cannot experience, right? That is the. Huh. No, 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 no. That is something built by that person through maybe because the causal body, that is the body of karmic impressions, the seed for the uh, subtle sarir and the gross body. So what your karmas are, what you learn, what you think, what you say, what you eat, everything manifests through your energies. Now that is the energy that you feel when you go to somewhere near someone. If a person is too much into meditation, if a person is too much into good things, if a person is too much into sadhana, that person builds some kind of aura in them, which is very positive. That you experience when you go near that person. Sukshma is way beyond we can think. Okay. Sukshma Sharir is not good, Sukshma Sharir is not bad. It's devoid of all this material, confusions, good and bad. It's not defined as good or bad. Good or bad is just Sthula Sharir. Okay. Then comes Panchakosha. Let's learn about Panchakoshas. So, what are Panchakoshas? Panchakoshas, mostly it's defined in the Hatha Yogic text as well. These are the 5 levels of our body. Yoga works through these 5 levels. Okay. The first is Annamaya Kosha, again this gross body. What we have learned, Stula Sharira. This gross body is made up of food, right? Food we eat. So it's also known as a food body. Okay, physical body, food body, or Annamaya Kosha. That's why it's named as Annamaya Kosha. Whatever you see in me, the appearance in me, whatever I have, the muscles, the joints, the skeleton, the bones, everything is Annamaya. Solid, we can see, we can manifest through our eyes, looking at the body, is Annamaya. Okay. Anything you do for this physical body pertains to the Annamaya Kosha. Asanas, Annamaya Kosha. You're building your physiology through gym, Annamaya Kosha. Everything that you're doing for this body is Annamaya Kosha. Pertains to this Annamaya Kosha. In yoga, the asanas, Sukshma Yamas, Sthula Yamas, Shat Karmas, everything pertains to what? Annamaya Kosha. To treat anything related to this Annamaya Kosha, you need to practice these aspects of asana. Sthula Vyam, Sukshma Vyam, Asanas, Satkarmas. Alright? Then comes Pranamaya Kosha. A little inside Annamaya Kosha. There are 5 levels. Imagine 5 circles, one inside the other. Biggest circle, then a little smaller one, then another smaller one, then another smaller one, and the smallest one. So the biggest one is Annamaya Kosha, the most gross. As you enter inside, it's more subtle. As you move outside, it's more grosser and grosser. This body, the Annamaya Kosha, the food body, is what? Gross body. The biggest circle is the most gross among all those. Easily available, easily touchable, easily understandable, easily understandable. How many systems we have? It's understandable. 11 systems. What muscles builds which part of the body? Understandable. Right? How much blood we have? Understandable. Everything is understandable, easily understandable in fact. Alright. Then we move a little subtle to a more subtle level, that is Pranamaya Kosha. Pranamaya Kosha is the energy level now, according to this Panchakosha. This energy level means the vital energy, the life energy that you have. Life energy. What is keeping you alive? No doubt your heart is pumping. How is it pumping? Because of the oxygen. You stop breathing. You stop breathing, your heart will stop working after some time, right? So the life energy, the energy that is keeping you alive, the vital energy we say, right? So through this pranamaya kosha, you are alive. It's keeping you alive. That's pranamaya kosha. There are concept of pranas and upapranas in this kosha. There are 5 pranas in our body which works for the different systems of our body. Those pranas are what? Udan Vayu, we say also Vayu or Prana. Vayu or Prana in this aspect is the same. The Udan Vayu, the Vyan Vayu, the Saman Vayu, Apan Vayu, and Samana Udan, Dan, Saman, Apan, Vyan, and one more was there. Wait, sometimes this happens that 1 or 2 words just skips the mind. It happens. Just give me some time, it will come back. So, Udan Prana prevails again in your throat and the upper region. Okay, so anything related to your throat, you know, like eyes problem, the collagens that gives you eye problems, anything related to your conjunctivitis or something like that, is because of the problems, because of the problem in the uran vayu, because that leaves above your throat region. Then comes your saman vayu. Saman vayu is for your stomach related problem, that lives in your navel region. Then comes Apan Vayu. Apan Vayu, the direction of Apan Vayu is downwards. Anything related to your excretory system, your urogenital problems, your reproductive things are related to Apan Vayu. Any problem in this causes this kind of the problems related to these 3 systems. Alright? Then comes the Vyan Vayu. Vyan Vayu is the circulatory system. It circulates throughout the body. It directs all other Vayu to keep the functioning of each and every system ongoing. Vyan Vayu that circulates in the whole body. And one is Prana only. Okay? Prana that is related to your respiratory system. Okay? The Pancha Pranas. Pancha Pranas. And there are 5 Upapranas as well. 5 Upapranas. Okay, I'll name those later on. Like, I don't remember the sequence. That's why I'll give it in the next class. There are like Devadatta as a I have forgotten that sequence currently. So I will just take this Pancha Prana and Pancha Upaprana class again in the next session. However, this relates with the Pranamaya Kosha. Okay. Then comes the Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha is the mental body, your cognition, your mind, your chitta, anything you are thinking, you are working, cognition is required. You are memorizing something, you are now concentrating. These are the parts of your Manomaya Kosha. Alright. So for this kosha, if you need practice, what you will practice? For Manomaya Kosha, it's always mantra chanting, deep relaxation techniques, some kind of meditation practices, mindfulness practices. Okay, these things enhances your mental body, the Manomaya Kosha. Any problem related to this kosha needs to be treated. For example, anxiety, phobia, depression. These are problems related to your mind. So you need to actually treat them at this level. Okay, I skipped this part in Pranamaya Kosha. So for Pranamaya Kosha, the practices are always the breathing practices. So even if you are doing an asana, you are lifting your hand up and exhale. This correlates with your Pranamaya Kosha. All the pranayamas, Nari Shodhan, Anlom Vilom, Kapalbhati, Bhastrika. However, Kapalbhati is a Shatkarma, not a pranayama. It's wrongly termed as pranayama. It's not pranayama. Kapalbhati is a Shatkarma, but it helps in more in the pranamaya kosha rather than in the Annamaya Kosha. Okay, so then Bhastrika pranayam, Ujjayi pranayam, Plavini, Sheaths, Shitkari, everything correlates with this pranayama kosha. Okay, then comes Manamaya and then comes Vijnanamaya. What is Vijnanamaya Kosha? It's your wisdom body, intellectual body. No doubt it's a part of cognition. But this is the kosha of your knowledge, where you understand what to do, what not to do. You identify between the good and the bad and the wrong and the right. Your experience correlates with this. Okay, the wisdom body, which tells you what is good and what is not, this is right and this is wrong. So, to energize and to enhance this body, you need to attend satsang, where you listen to good lectures, you be around spiritual personalities to enhance your spirituality, where you stay around knowledgeable person who can give you the correct knowledge by reading good books, right? These are the things through which you can treat this kind of problems or problems related to Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now this is even subtler than the Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Then the last is the Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is the bliss body, the subtle most body in your whole body, the closest to your Atman, right? This body is devoid of all other aspects. Pranamaya, Manomaya, Anandamaya, Annamaya, Vijnanamaya. This body knows nothing about the good or the bad, happy or sad, because it's devoid of all these material things. It's selfless. It's just about the reality. It's the closest to your Atman. Right? This is the body which gets enhanced when you reach your goal of enlightenment. So, to enhance this body, you need to do selfless actions. Selfless action, it should not be like I am going to some orphanage and I am, providing food to these orphan kids. And you were thinking in your mind that I will get a lot of blessings. So, this is not an act of selfless thing. because you're expecting something in return. So this is not selfless. So just giving food to some orphan people, just donating or just by charity, it doesn't mean that you are doing some selfless action, because you are at least thinking about gaining something out of that. So how come that's selfless? So selfless action should be something which through which you are not expecting anything. Now if you are engaged in such kind of activities, that will enhance your Anandamaya Kosha. If you see, there are communities, or there are just like Ramakrishna Mission, just like ISKCON, they do a lot of such activities where they help people without thinking about gaining something in return. Those are selfless actions. You know, so to strengthen Anandamaya Kosha, you need to do selfless action. Gardening helps. Gardening helps. Volunteering somewhere helps. Helping someone helps. Huh. Because that's an action through which you gain actually nothing. If you are obviously, if you are too much into gardening because you will get something out of that, then that's not obviously. But otherwise gardening helps because through gardening, what you are gaining nothing. What do the flower plant give you? Instead, when the plant grows, it will give a lot to the environment. You are not related to that activity, right? You are not thinking that I will gain something out of this tomorrow. But even if in that activity, if you are thinking, oh my god, I will get a lot of fruits out of it, then that gardening is not. When I say gardening, that's because that just an action you are doing, just an action. Anything you do selflessly, that's for your Anandamaya Kosha. Even if you cook for someone selflessly, not thinking that he is my husband, I need to take care of him. No. You are cooking just because you are cooking, nothing other than cooking. Just their action. Even that Anandamaya Kosha, that will help you Anandamaya Kosha. Okay. So, whenever you prepare a module for someone, you need to look after the disease. What kind of problem is that? Which system of the body is related to this problem? And then prepare the module accordingly to heal that person at Pancha Kosha level. Every element should be there in the module. Counseling is there in Vijnanamaya Kosha. So, talking with people, even not counseling, if you're talking with someone, talk therapy, someone in problem, the grief goes out, right? So, that's Vijnanamaya Kosha, counseling. Even someone have gastric issue, you are counseling that person with food habits, that this food is good, that food is not good. That's even good. Counseling that person through by making that person aware of his disease condition, how it can be treated, that comes under Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now giving a list of food to eat and not to eat, that comes in Annamaya Kosha. Type of food comes in Annamaya Kosha, but the counseling part comes in Vijnanamaya Kosha. So whenever you prepare a module, yoga module, it should contain every element of it, because yoga works at Panchakosha level. Alright. So tell me, Surya Namaskar comes under which kosha? Technically Annamaya Kosha. If too much of awareness is there, inhaling, closing the eyes and practicing. See, Pranamaya and Manomaya comes in. What? It has all the five, but depends on the practitioner. If that person is just moving his hands in and out, then it's simply Annamaya Kosha. That practice is, that's why termed as Annamaya Kosha practice. So Surya Namaskar definitely is an Annamaya Kosha practice. But depending on the person, if that person is too much into it, inhaling and understanding each and every bit of his hands moving up, now his Manomaya Kosha is in This Pranamaya Kosha is in. Let's suppose you have instructed the person inhale and lift your hands up and Hastattanasana. That participant did simply Annamaya Kosha, nothing else. Nothing else. But actual aspect of yoga is that every practice actually belongs, according to me, to every kosha, depending on how you are practicing. Depending on how you are practicing. But technically, all these practices comes under Annamaya Kosha. All right. So should we end here today? Good. Please keep doubts. Okay. Ready, so that every time we meet, we can clarify these doubts as well. Okay, and I will go through this in next 1 or 2 classes. I'll prepare some objective questions and I share with you. You can just fill those questionnaires and give it to me immediately. It will be a job of around, I'll keep it very short, 2 minutes for each question. If there are 10 questions, it will take 20 minutes and we will end up in the class itself. And that will be a class activity, because that won't allow you to go through Google or somewhere else. You just need to do it with your own knowledge. Sorting of the questions, once I am done with the sorting of the questions, I will send you those questions. Okay, so all right, then we should end here. Thank you so much.